it's time to grab our shovels and get this hole dug. This site is newer construction, so we don't have any sod to deal with. Ordinarily, we would remove the sod and save it to use for patching up turf after the water feature is installed. Once any sod is removed, the easiest way to dig out the pond is to start by digging the entire area down 8 inches. That's the standard height of a shovel head, by the way. Then dig a hole for the skimmer box. When you get to the skimmer unit, you'll have to drill the holes for the discharge and bottom drain, if you're installing one. Be sure to drill on the correct sides, and make sure you drill the right-sized hole. A 2-inch bulkhead needs a 3-inch hole. You'll want the top of the box to be at grade and level. Now make sure your skimmer unit is set and level. It should be perfectly level from both directions. A lot of pond manufacturers will tell you to make rings of levels in your pond, but we found that can lead to erosion. It also limits your ability to group plants, statues, and other design elements where you want them. So, we recommend creating scalloped plateaus. That will give you a nice, stable surface to work with. Dig out your second level, also at 8 inches deep. And then outline your next series of scalloped plateaus. Continue until you've reached your final depth. Use the dirt to create a gentle slope around the back of the biological filter waterfalls box. Either way, we always recommend making a gentle berm around our waterfall box. Place a large rock inside the skimmer to hold it in place as you backfill. Leave room on the bottom drain side for installation. Now you need to mark the water level. A string level or laser transit is set at the right height. Then spray paint is used to mark the level all the way around. Now dig out a 6-inch wide, 6-inch deep trench from the lowest point of the pond to the skimmer box for your bottom drain kit. A bottom drain is really important because it helps maintain the pH balance in the pond. It also helps pull sinking debris to the skimmer so it can be filtered out. There is a valve to control the flow and shut it off in the winter. We close it in winter so the warm water stays on the bottom, where fish hibernate. Once you clean the substrate of all foreign objects, sharp rocks, and roots, you're ready to start lining the pond. Last, you'll want to dig a trench about 24 inches away from the outer edge of the pond for burying the pipe. Before we backfill this trench, we're going to install 2 extra filtration systems that will help keep this pond and its plants and fish healthy. Vary your stream width and direction for a natural look. You can also add small pools in the stream for varied interest points and planting pockets. The underlayment goes in next. Smooth it carefully and trim the excess to use under sharp edges of decorative rocks later on. The stream underlayment is installed the same way. Cut it as needed to remove excess material and fit your contours. Make sure to fit it into the nooks and spaces because that makes rock placement easier. The liner will go in pretty much the same way. Little Giant liners are made by Firestone with durable, puncture-resistant EPDM material. They're really flexible, so they go in easily. Plus, they're UV resistant, so they last a long time. In fact, these liners carry a 20-year warranty by Firestone. They're safe for all aquatic life, too. Now, this homeowner wanted their waterfall set back a short distance from the pond. The water comes down a small stream, about 15 feet long. So we'll need a second liner for the stream, and we'll have to either seam them or overlap them for a watertight seal. Seaming only works well if the 2 liners are absolutely clean. Many times, overlapping is just easier. Simply overlap the 2 liners until you've achieved 1 vertical foot. That will prevent the water from wicking up between the 2 liners. The amount of liner that you overlap depends on the slope you are working with. The less slope you have, the more liner you need to overlap. In this case, we're overlapping about 3.5 feet horizontally to get our 1 vertical foot. Now, let's get that biological waterfall filter unit installed. First, attach the liner. Little Giant's design is easier because you won't be using numerous screws or silicone here. Just gather up some of the liner into an S-fold, slip on the durable stainless steel ring, and tighten. The S-fold provides a little excess liner in case of settling. Once the liner is attached, cut off any excess material below the lip and around the edge. Skimmer installation starts by assembling the bottom drain kit. Next, we need to attach the liner between the skimmer and faceplate. Begin by removing the faceplate from the skimmer. Keep all the components nearby because you'll be reinstalling them soon. Pull up the liner, but create an S-fold at the bottom. That way, if any settling occurs, it will pull out that excess liner instead of ripping the liner out of the skimmer itself. To attach the liner to the faceplate of the skimmer, you'll want to use a lot of silicone for a good, long-lasting seal. Attach the liner to the skimmer box, making sure you get that good seal with the silicone. Use the clips that are included to secure it. Feeling for the faceplate opening, use a utility knife to slash an X in the liner. Then push the faceplate in the unit. An awl or ice pick will help you poke holes in the liner through the pre-drilled faceplate. Don't skip this step. A screw will tear the liner and ruin that nice watertight seal you've created with silicone. Beginning with the corners and alternating from side to side and top to bottom, screw the faceplate securely into place. The only trimming you'll have to do is that top flap of liner hanging down over the faceplate. The other flaps are out of the way and won't interfere with skimmer operation. Now, install the pump. Little Giant makes adding the discharge valve exiting the skimmer easy because all the components you need are included in one kit. When that's done, attach the pipe that goes up to the waterfalls unit. We're using a rubber coupling for this installation. If you use a bulkhead, just tighten it to the point where the rubber bulges out a bit, maybe 1 or 2 turns with a pipe wrench. We're also adding a low-level shutoff switch, which protects the pumps if the water level gets too low for some reason. Now we need to install the autofill. Drill a hole near the top, at the back of the skimmer, out of the way of the discharge plumbing. Attach the float valve the same way you would attach a bulkhead. Install the appropriate fittings for connection to the water supply. Little Giant provides barbed, glue, and hose fittings to choose from. Now, finish the skimmer installation. Filter pads are optional for the skimmer, but for a homeowner who wants minimal maintenance, they are a great idea. Next, insert the brushes. The net goes in last by the door. Don't forget the lid. While lids are optional on a waterfall filtration unit, they're important to use with skimmers. No need to make your skimmers work harder than they already have to. UV light filtration is still relatively new to water features, but it works great. Nothing eliminates green water quicker. If your homeowner intends to raise fish in their pond, UV filtration is a smart idea, especially with those expensive koi. Just cut the pipe that runs between the skimmers and the falls, plumb in the unit, and plug it in. We installed ours with the pressurized filter.